Not all small companies are unsafe. Some of them are actually hidden gems that grow into big companies over time. These are called multibaggers. But yes, many small companies are risky, so you must choose carefully. Let's break it down simply. When is a small company, small cap, safe to invest? 1. Consistent profit. Even if it's small, the company should be making profit for the last few years. Profits should be growing steadily, not up and down like a roller coaster. 2. Low debt. Look at the debt-to-equity ratio. Safe if debt is low, ratio less than 1, and the company is not struggling to pay loans. 3. Strong management. Promoters should own a good percent of the company, usually greater than 50% is safe. No signs of fraud, cheating, or frequent resignations. 4. Growing industry. The company should belong to a growing industry, e.g., EV, tech, green energy. If the whole sector is growing, the small company has more chances to grow too. 5. Clean track record. No involvement in scams or legal troubles. Look at news headlines about the company or check the corporate governance section on websites like screener.in. Warning signs of unsafe small companies. 1. Unstable profits or losses. The company is losing money or profits go up down every year without reason. 2. Too much debt. If debt is high and the company can't pay interest, it's a red flag. 3. Low promoter holding. If promoters own less than 30% or they're selling shares regularly, be cautious. 4. No real product or service. Some companies exist just on paper or in hype. Check what the company actually makes or does. 5. Low trading volume. Very few people buy or sell the stock daily. You may not be able to sell when needed. Real-life example, a safe small company. Example, Fine Organic. It was a small-cap chemical company, but had regular profits, low debt, clean management. Eventually, it became a mid-cap, an unsafe small company. Example, many penny stocks like Reliance Communications or Yes Bank, when it crashed, looked cheap, but were in huge debt or legal trouble. How you can check. 1. Go to screener.in, search for the company. Check profit growth, debt-to-equity ratio, promoter holding return on equity, ROE. 2. Google News. Search company name plus latest news. See if there are frauds, losses, or any bad news. Final advice, small companies are not always bad, but they are high risk, high reward. Start with large cap or mutual funds and slowly invest a small amount in selected small cap stocks after research. The returns you can expect from investing in the share market, stock market, or mutual funds depend on various factors, such as the type of investment, market conditions, and your risk tolerance. However, I can give you a general idea based on historical data and typical returns. 1. Stock market, shares. Expected return. The average annual return from equity markets, stocks in India, has been around 12 to 15% per year over the long term, 10 plus years. This is based on the historical performance of indices like Nifty 50 or Sensex. Time frame. Short term, 1 to 3 years. Returns can vary a lot. You might see negative returns or high volatility in the short term. Medium term, 3 to 5 years. Your returns may be more stable, but still can vary based on the market. Long term, 10 plus years. Over a longer period, returns are likely to average out at 12 to 15% annually, which leads to compounding growth. Example, if you invest 10,000 rupees per month in stocks and the average return is 12% per year, in 10 years, you could have around 25 lakh rupees, principal plus returns, using compounding. 2. Mutual funds. Expected return. The return you can expect depends on the type of mutual fund. Equity mutual funds. Historically, these have returned 12 to 18% annually over the long term. Hybrid mutual funds, a mix of stocks and bonds, typically offering 8 to 12% returns. Debt mutual funds, more conservative, with returns typically around 6 to 8% annually. Time frame, short term, 1 to 3 years. Mutual funds may not give the best returns in the short term because markets can be volatile. Medium term, 3 to 5 years. Returns become more predictable but still influenced by market conditions. Long term, 10 plus years. Equity mutual funds have historically averaged around 12 to 18% per year over 10 plus years, giving you the best growth potential. Example: if you invest 5,000 rupees per month in an equity mutual fund and the return is 12% annually, in 10 years, your investment could grow to around 12.4 lakh rupees, principal plus returns. Third, share market, direct investment in shares. Expected return. Direct shares can give very high returns if you pick the right companies, but they also come with high risk. Best performing stocks have historically given 20 to 30% or more per year over long periods. Average stock market returns are around 12 to 15% per year, similar to mutual funds. Time frame. The longer you hold, the more you can benefit from compounding and the growth of good companies. The key is to diversify and not put all your money in one stock. Example: if you invest 5,000 rupees per month in a good stock and the average return is 15% per year, after 10 years, your investment could grow to around 14.6 lakh rupees. How returns work with compounding. Compounding example: 10,000 rupees per month invested at 12% annual return. After 5 years, 8.1 lakh rupees. After 10 years, 25 lakh rupees. After 15 years, 60.8 lakh rupees. After 20 years, 1.45 crore rupees. The earlier you start and the more consistently you invest, the higher your returns due to compounding. Key considerations. 1. Consistency is key. Monthly or yearly investments help to average out market highs and lows, called rupee cost averaging. 2. Risk tolerance. If you want higher returns, you can go for equity mutual funds or direct stocks, but they come with higher risk. 3. Investment horizon. The longer you can keep your money invested, the better the chances of your investment growing. Important: these returns are historical averages, and future returns can vary. Short-term market movements, 1 to 3 years, can be unpredictable. Always keep in mind your financial goals, risk appetite, and investment horizon.